Hi. All right, this is going to be a recap of a series that I've been putting on TikTok. We're still in the middle of it. We're at number 21. It's also up on YouTube if you're interested. Hey, it's a long time no see. My fault, of course. But over on TikTok, just doing this interesting, this very interesting breakdown of the Bible. So let me explain what we've been doing here. I had read from Elias Levi. He said that every Major Arcana tarot card matches up with a Hebrew character. Actually, it might have been here also. Tarot in the Torah first put me onto this idea, which is an Elias Levi idea, that every tarot card matches up with the Hebrew letter. Well, the Bible was originally written in Hebrew, so I decided one day I wanted to see what these cards looked like. And I found something so interesting. So interesting. Oh my gosh. Mind-blowing. Not just interesting, mind-blowing. And already, if you know me, you know that my mind is blown every day by God anyway. But then this took it to another level. So the first word of the Bible is Bereshit. And the second letter is Bara. So Bereshit Bara. In the beginning, God. Scholars are going to tell you, no. That's not how you translate it. That's not right. Well, I don't care, because that's what my Bible says. My Bible says, in the beginning, God. That was number one. That was actually a recent revelation. Revelation. It was a recent revelation. So I'm going to walk you through this tarot spread and hopefully explain to you what I see, and then I hope that you will see it also. So let's get started. All right. First off, let's see. This is what, it's going to be mirror imaged. Okay, but this is what it looks like. Beit, Reysh, Aleph, Shin, Yod, Hey. And these are the modern Hebrew characters. These are the ancient, the pictograms. Hebrew is based off of Metu Neter, which is the Kemetic alphabet, the Kemetic language, which is Egyptian or Sumerian. And this makes sense because Moses, who wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, was Egyptian educated. So yeah, we're going to see some of these. We're going to see a lot of similarities between Egypt and Hebrew. Metu Neter is known as a divine language. It is sacred language. It can only be read by true Egyptians. And this was the language that was included on the Rosetta Stone. There are 2 forms of Metu Neter. There is the Demotic, which is like for the people, and then there was a hierarchical version, which was like for the for royalty or the priest class. Moses didn't write the first 5 books of the Bible, or any books, until the Exodus. So this is like year 1400 BC-ish. He is often compared to Sargon the Great because they have this, or Sargon the First, because they have the same story of being floated down the river in a little reed boat. But Sargon lived in year... You put up your cards at the end of the day. I'll use... I've just been leaving him out and just covering him. All right, let me flip this around. Hey, Clay! It's good to see ya. Okay, so I'm going to flip this around, if I can figure out how to turn the camera around. How do you do this? This way. Okay. Okay, so this is the spread. These are those same letters. That'll help. Okay. So here you see the High Priestess. Oh, hey, you. I'm doing this recap. This is Reysh. Reysh is the 20. Okay, and then Aleph. That's the Aleph. See, got them right here too. And then this is the Shin. I put them in 2 different rows. Let me turn the camera back. Okay, so I put them in 2 different rows because, well, 1, there was some interesting symmetry there, and 2, did I learn about the magic? No, I don't know. When did I learn about the magic squares? You know I don't know nothing about nothing. I just learned all of this morning. So what came first? What came first? I couldn't really say. Oh, because it's 333. 333. You ever play Sudoku? It's a magic square. Oh, it's a magic square. Okay, so so I laid these cards out in a 3x3 grid. And the first row already is super interesting. Let me show you these cards again. And the characters. Where's my flashcards? Okay. So this one is Beit. B-E-I-T. No, I should have already had these out. Sorry. It looks like a backwards squared off capital American G. And it corresponds with the High Priestess card. This card means house, home, tent, or tabernacle. This card invites you to look inside of yourself, into the depths of yourself. And A.E. Waite says that her true name is Shekinah. Shekinah is the presence of God dwelling in the holy tabernacle. From whence came ye? In here. In here. Because Reysh, let's see if we can find a card for Reysh. This is not a great drawing of the Reysh. This is more what it looks like. Okay, but that's supposed to be Kermit the Frog wearing a doctoral hat. See how he's wearing a doctoral hat? Reysh, the old character, this one, means head or chief. It's like a rich man. But the new character now looks like this one right here. And that, the rabbis say, is a bent over, hunched man. So it could be a learned man or a wretched man. So we should have 2 of these. And we can use 2 of them because Reysh is the 20th letter. So when we take our 20th card, you're going to have to stick with me here for this one. So when we take our 20th card, which is the Last Judgment, we see that it's got an XX on top. If you know math, you know that X is a missing element in a mathematical equation. But everywhere you see an X, it's going to be the same. It will still be the same number. You'll get the same result. Right? Does that make sense? Oh, there he is. So we have 2 of them. Reysh, 2 of them. Okay? We could call them the Fool and the Master, the Fool and the Magician, or the Alchemist, the Fool and the Alchemist and the Master. Excuse me. And now it's okay that they are 2 different numbers and 2 different characters because it's actually a 20. It's actually 20. So 2 indicates a whole man, and 0 indicates a circumcised man. Sorry, guys. A circumcised man, one who's been cut off. And then 2 is the whole man. As a matter of fact, our 3rd letter is Aleph, represented by the magician. So he's already in here. Now, A Course in Miracles tells us that the Last Judgment really should be called the Atonement. And if you're familiar with atonement theory, there's all sorts of different theories, but basically it is that God atoned for you. God picked you up in the 2nd letter of the Bible. God picked you up and paid for you. Before anything else ever happened. And part of the atonement means that your birthright is miracles and mastery. You'll see that our magician here has a snake around his waist, indicating that he has overcome the carnal. He's worked out his parasites, he's worked out his issues, his traumas. They don't bother him anymore, and he is the master of suits. So, mastery both inside and outside. He is a master of the law. You see she's holding the Holy Torah. He's a master of the law. And he has inherited the atonement. This is our Holy Trinity. The source, the spirit, Reysh stands for spirit, and the Son, the mastery of both. That's our top one. Stand by. Put this back. The tarot is said that the Fool makes his journey through the whole Major Arcana. So this is our little guy, and he's an O because he's just an atom, one little atom, and an atom already has inside the nucleus has a proton and a neutron. And all these other entities that are floating around, nobody knows how they got there. They're just there. And scientists keep finding new ones. They do. Check your medical dictionaries. They're always looking for more. The closer you look, the more you see. Where do we want The fourth letter of the Bible is Shin. It can also be pronounced Sin. Shin or Sin. And this letter is number 21, which is why I call this one 21 the world. But it has a numerical value of 300. So for the 3, we gave it the Empress. And for the 00, 2 more suns. This still works mathematically, even if we don't have Eve with her sons Cain and Abel. You see the 2 sons here? And then here's her 3 daughters. Because we have an XXI, so again, the X, we already know this stands for the 0. X's and O's. That stands for the 0, and the I stands for her mother. So, here we go. The Empress. Interestingly enough, if you put 1 and 3 next to each other, you get the number 13. So, outside of our spread is the death card. And this is the first card, not in our spread that we found. This is the death card. A lot of people like to relate it to the horsemen in Revelations, but this is not so. This is not so because death doesn't ride a white horse. Okay? Everybody knows death rides a dead horse. This is an imposter. This is a faker. And this, A.E. White says he's holding a mystic rose. There's nothing mystic about this rose whatsoever. That is the Tudor rose. The Tudor rose. Do you know who the Tudors are? That is the combined families of the Yorks and the Lancasters, the royal family of England. This is Henry VIII stuff. And you will also notice here that he affects the young and the old, male and female, rich and poor. And behind him, where are they at? Over here. Behind him are the towers to the city, the entrance to the city. We see similar towers here with the High Priestess, right? She sits at the opening to her house, and no one can come in except through her. And this guy, he's from the government and he's here to help, but what is he doing? He must know where this place is. He's been to this place. He comes from this place. Whose banner is he waving? And yet he's not helping any of them get across the finish line. How rude. If we take the Aleph and give him wings, we get a Baphomet creature. So again, using the same cards, the same numbers, the same letters, now we've got a Baphomet. And here also we think, ooh, the devil, he's so scary. But you are in willing servitude towards him. He literally is lighting his torch from your tail. What's up with that? So the devil, or the Baphomet, is a new creature, a new creation, created by Levi, actually. And like in the 1861, 1860 something. And it wasn't until 1966 that Anton LaVey decided to use him for the Church of Satan. Aleister Crowley says that Satan is just a personification. Actually, that's not only a magical viewpoint. Also, Charles Fillmore said the same thing. Satan is your lower desires. He's just a personification. And in Exodus, we're told, God says, I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries, because there are multiples. There's multiples. Just like Elohim is a plural word, there are plural enemies. They're not within the first 3 letters of the Bible, but they're popping up. Between day 3, oh look, Genesis chapter 3, day 3, character 3, now all of a sudden we've got this serpent who comes to tempt Eve. Sin follows Eve into the garden. And we listened and we decided that we like our chains, I guess. I guess we like our chains because we stay in them, don't we? We must really like our chains. Now, Eve, where's she at? Eve, you see here, has the symbol of Venus on her shield. Eve and Venus. That's evenness. Oh, do you see that? Do you see that? It's a W. That's funny. It's a W. Let's draw it like that. It's a Wonder Woman. It's a Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's name was Princess Diana, and she was of a tribe of Amazonians. These Amazonians were written about by Herodotus and others. It is said that they were a fierce female tribe of warriors who lived an idyllic all-female life. Later, they commanded a ship and attacked or met up with the Scythians. But how did they procreate before then, I wonder? Because we have children, right? We have all of these fools running around, but we don't have any daddies yet. What's going on here? It's weird. Wonder Woman, by the way, the creator of Wonder Woman said she is just pure propaganda designed to get you on board with the war. You know, match your vibration. Do you see the wavelength? It's all manifestation. Diana is a name of the moon god. Diana, sometimes known as Trivia, sometimes known as Hecate, sometimes known as Proserpina. Proserpina, you will remember, ate 3 pomegranate seeds and got herself stuck in Hades forever. Well, not forever. She gets to come out sometimes. Dude, that's thanks to her mom fighting for her. Another name for Diana is Artemis. Now, Artemis is the moon goddess. Her brother, her twin brother, is the sun. Here's another baby that we do not know where it came from. The sun. Look at this. A naked baby on a horse outside the garden walls. From whence this baby came? From whence? From where? cannot, although it is the moon's twin. And again, look, here we see the city in the background and a nice big opening. That's the way in. That's the way in. Another name for Venus is Virgo. And Virgo, according to Sumerian mythology, her name is Absin because she is the daughter of Shin, who is the moon god. So the sun, therefore, cannot be her son because her son then would be her twin of her father. That doesn't make any sense. So that is just not so. Can't be. Can't happen. Can't happen. But now that we know that her name is also Venus, Eve, let's look at this again. If we take, let's look at this letter. And this letter represents her, right? Some rabbis say these are teeth. And that it also, especially in the new one really looks like, well, not by my drawing, but it looks more like a crown. A crown, teeth, fire, flames, you kind of see that too. Trident. Specifically, as far as tridents go, specifically refers to the trident of Shiva. It's called the Trishula, and it's called the weapon of the gods. Shiva would be pronounced sh, Eve, Shiva. Shiva. Shiva, it is said, was self-created. Oh my gosh, my cat just touched me. Shiva is self-created, another self-created god, and that he's always had his trident with him from the beginning. He's self-created and always had his trident with him from the beginning. But at some point, Shiva gave his trident, the Trishula, to Durga. Durga is an aspect of the mother goddess in Sanskrit. If we translate Durga into Norse, we'll change the D to a V. And vowels, you know, are meaningless. We just made them up. So Durga is Virgo. You don't believe me that we made it up? Let's take a look. The moon god, his name is Shin. And this is the sun. What's the difference between the sun and the sun? You and I. You and I, that's the difference. My definition for I is iota. I am just a little bit. I'm just a little bit of God. I'm just a little bit. God is the great gestalt. You, according to U.S. Code, the Code of Federal Regulations, the CFR, you are a person who owes a debt to the United States. That's code. That's the difference between the sun and the sun. So let's go back to our spread. I gotta put all the cards back first. Hold on. Doop, 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 doop. Now this doesn't, if you put the world here, you're going to see something totally different. But I'll give you a second. You'll see this. All right. how do I spin this around? Okay, here we go. Okay, so here's our spread. It starts with Beit, Reysh, Aleph, and Shin. Or Sin or Shin. Now at 18, we pulled out the moon card. And then at 19, we pulled out the sun card. This is a working tarot spread. We haven't pulled all the cards out yet. So the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon. Now if we have the world here, that makes perfect sense. The sun, the moon, the world. And we still get our suns and everything, right? So everything looks good. Everything looks kosher. But it's disguising. There's a truth hidden here. I'm trying to decide how much I want to show you. Let's leave the world there. Okay. All right, I'm back. You guys have heard me say a lot, they don't know how to count. They don't know how to count like I don't know how to count. They don't know how to count. They don't know how to count. They count by twins and triplets, which is why it goes over again in with the 12s and 13s. Are there 12 children of Judah or are there 13? Because remember, he had a daughter. Or do we just count the sons? But then one of them gets killed. So 12, 11, 12, 12, 13. We can't decide. Just like we can't decide at the beginning. Is it Cain and Abel? Oh, no, it's just Cain. No, it's Cain and Set. Or is it Cain, Abel, and Set? So it's 2s and 3s. 2s and 3s. Always 2s and 3s, 12s and 13s. I mean, they don't have use for numbers. Why the fuck do we have use for numbers? We don't have use for numbers or letters or books. We don't have use for this. We're creatures of God. We should be out, dancing in the moonlight. Do you know it's the King Crimson song that just came in my mind just now? And you would think that it'd be the Thin Lizzy song because I love that song. But literally, the King Crimson song just came into my mind. Dancing in the moonlight. I like the Thin Lizzy version better. It just has the same title. It's not the same version of the song. Anyway. We feel like the world would still work because the number 21 and world starts with W and it looks right. It definitely looks right. It definitely looks right. But hey, what's going on, my friend? But it doesn't, it's not, but it's not right. How do I explain this? Okay, so just because a number and a letter go together, like A is 1, doesn't mean that A is only 1. A is also 4. Of course, 4 is D. That doesn't mean D is A. There are different, they go together in different ways. That's why sacred geometry was such a thing. Because, we see all these different relations, but we can't explain how they go together. Well, they go together because these 8 sides match up with those 8 sides. And then we can make a perfect sphere. Or we can make another perfect shape. Trying to decide where I want to go with this. Where do we want to go with this? But the world is a 0. The world's a 0. Sorry. All right. Let me show you another character here. If we just look at these characters as zodiac signs. Oh, wait, let's back up, because maybe you're thinking that we can't do that. Well, we can, because Bible starts with B, Archon starts with A. The Archons were here before. The Archons are the angels, the watchers, created before us, or outside of this realm, or what's another way we could say it? Like on a different level. It's outside of your pay grade. It's outside of your pay grade. It's not that it's unknowable. It's that you don't need to know it. It is. This looks like a huge book. It looks like a difficult book. This is not a difficult book. This is a baby book. This is a baby book of God loves you. This is Sesame Street, brought to you by the letter A and the number 1. This is just a baby book. It doesn't have all the secrets of the universe. It's not going to go back billions of years to the Androver Nebula. It's not going to tell you about the super universe personalities that are discussing your cosmic citizenship and your governorship in the next world. Or, well, actually in this one, because who's harvesting your energy? You know somebody's harvesting your energy. You know that, right? So, the zodiac signs. Taurus and Virgo equal Mercury. There's Virgo, or there's Venus. Right? Venus. And there's Taurus. And that's Mercury. Mercury, according to Aleister Crowley, in the book Magic Without Limits, says that the gods have different names and different personalities based on your relationship with them, or maybe like a community's relationship with them. Because I'm going to use this analogy again. New York City looks different if you're in Hoboken, New Jersey, or if you're standing in Central Park. Same city, two totally different perspectives. I love Hoboken. You stand over there and look at New York. It's like you're having this Mary Tyler Moore moment. I just love it. Okay, so Mercury, a.k.a. Loki, a.k.a. Pan, he's also here, outside, on the outside, not on the inside. He's on the outside. The sun somehow got onto the inside of the spread. I know I put the card there, but I don't know how it got there. The moon was outside the spread, and the moon came first. And then the sun had to go opposite it, so the sun had to go on the inside, so that's just how it got there. But now that it's there, you can see that it's wrong. It's not supposed to be there. It's been planted. Because the Empress is not having babies with anybody but the Emperor. You can't breathe, you're not going there. You're not going there because the Emperor is not going to let you. Do you see him? He's wearing his armor. He's not going to let you near her. Especially, some little baby that doesn't have, where's his mommy? Where's his daddy? Why is he outside? Why is he naked outside the gate? Trojan horse? A genetic experiment? This baby is going to have to suckle at some Hebrewite woman's titty because he's not getting close to the Empress. The Emperor has his armor on. And one who has never put on armor should not boast to one who has not taken his off. So we'll put the Emperor on top of the sun. Let's take a look at the spread again, okay? All right, there's our spread. We've got Beit, Reysh, Aleph, death on the outside, the Empress, with Shiva having pledged fealty to her and his weapon, her father, the moon, who is sometimes, I don't know what's going on here, but he definitely covers Artemis. There's the sun covered by the emperor. There is the devil, defeated, that's supposed to be a lingam, defeated by the Trishula of Shiva. And here's Mercury, here's Loki, just on the outside, causing trouble. Remember, he's a trickster. He don't care about you. Now Loki, hi Nigel. So now Loki sometimes, Loki sometimes disguises himself as Odin. Odin, the All-Father. Okay. And he's done this for years. Done it for a long, long time. He is a shapeshifter who sometimes takes the form of a goat or a horse. Horses, by the way, are under the authority of Neptune and Poseidon. Mercury also is a shapeshifter who sometimes takes the form of the horse. And in this form, they practice bestiality. They're gross. Mercury was the favorite companion of Zeus when he would come to Earth, wanted to be entertained. They would also disguise themselves as poor wretched men, just to entertain themselves among the people. So Loki is out here causing trouble for us. You know, we've seen the full on the top row, and we saw full on the bottom row. I don't have 4 fulls, but I got the jack. I don't have the jack. I've got jack cards. So we got the jacks. We've got the jacks. Now this is what Luther called councils of men. Especially men who are following this, but think they're following this. Because doesn't the church always tell you? Let's look. Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Why, that's the Trinity right there. These councils of men are being led astray by the Joker. Because path to mastery is an internal one. It's your own path to mastery. Nobody can get rid of those parasites but you. Nobody can become a master of the law but you. You have to undertake the study and do the actions. It's your responsibility. Ooh, I'm talking to me. It's your responsibility. So, the fool's journey. Which way are you going to go? I think that's about it. I think that's the recap. That's the recap. All right, so this whole series breakdown, shorter. We've got it over on YouTube. We're doing it also on TikTok. Recording on TikTok and then putting it on YouTube. And we're going to pick it up tomorrow or the next day with number 22. All right, so hope you guys will jump in, ask lots of questions, and we'll go from there. All right, peace out. See ya.